Welcome back to the first Evening Nine Golf Podcast episode in a long time. We severely apologize for how long of a break it's been. But we are back and I'm very excited. Again, I really apologize about the break, a little bit of a break, but I don't know, how are you feeling now that we're back after about 3 months?
Oh, we're so back, baby. I cannot wait. We're gonna have a good. We were
This,
to the weekend. Just talking about golf is like get back on the podcast
we
because we
got
have.
to get back into it. It was funny, and some of you people that you're probably watching this right now, but it was actually a couple months ago. It was at Hido's wedding, and I was walking around. I did get a shout out at the podcast got a shout out at Hido's wedding. So shout out Danny Hido. But also, I probably had 5 people come up to me. You're like, you're the guy from the podcast, aren't you? And I'm like, yeah. They said, well, you got to get back into that. So it kind of the same thing. Not as much recognition, but a few people said the same thing at Tim's wedding this past weekend. So we said, you know what? We got to get into it. The original plan was to film on Saturday, but we got back and we were way too tired after Tim's wedding. So we decided not to. But, um, but yeah, I mean, I don't even know where to begin. Like, we're obviously not going to jump into the whole season right away, um, but yeah, kind of what's been going on with you while we've been away, Haida? Just
Oh,
give the viewers a little bit of an update.
yeah. Well, this is such a crazy time that we kind of took a hiatus from our podcast right before the Masters tournament. So that's how long it's been. Missed all four majors, um, but I do think it was right up until the Masters that we last filmed, and so that was when we went on my bachelor trip during the Masters, which was a blast. But what have I been up to? I got married. I know we talked about that previously, but yeah, got a ring. Um, that's so time consuming. Being married, working full time, moving, you name it. It's been the busiest summer ever, but it's been a blast. New filming studio, as you can see. I think Christina will let me call it the filming studio. Um, but yeah, nice to be in a new place. And been golfing this summer, not as much as I would like to, of course, with times being so busy, but thankful for all the times I've got out. We've played together this past weekend, and we have more plans coming. So, um, golf has been on my mind just as much as ever. So I'm so glad to be back.
Yeah, yeah, it has been definitely probably I'd say probably crazier summer than me after getting married and whatnot. But yeah, mine's a little less exciting. Just a lot of work. But I think I'm finally at a place to work where we can get a sustained at least once a week podcast going because it is something that I know we very much enjoy doing. We very much miss doing it. So yeah, hopefully we can sustain a schedule a little more. But as far as me, really just work. I've been golfing, same thing, less than I was back before we kind of stopped. Had this hiatus. So just working, golfing a little bit. Um, I'm trying to think. Really exciting. Probably the most exciting golf I've had was at Oglebay Resort in West Virginia, another West Virginia trip. Got I got a little bit of revenge there from the last time we were there. With Geneva Golf, we played the Bethany match, and I think I came second or third to last out of that. So still didn't play great, but I played a lot better then. It was a lot of fun. Got to go on a nice weekend trip with some family there. But yeah, just been kind of playing around here, and again, not too exciting of a summer, um, but yeah, it's been a busy summer though. It's been busy, a lot of trips. I feel like I've been all over. I was in Nashville watching Walk a Flock of Flame, a country music fest. That was interesting. I was been at weddings, you name it. But I am definitely glad to be back. I'm glad too that we kind of the first one's always the hardest. So I'm glad we're hopefully we can get back in the swing of things, even if it's just once a week. Definitely glad. But let's discuss. the plans for the next couple of months, both with the podcasts a little bit, and I don't know if we want to share it right now, but we have some big golf news coming out of Evening Nine Golf Podcast between the two of us.
That's right. We might want to keep our viewers on the edge of their seats for now.
Well, I think we should.
Yeah. One other note. I don't know if I missed this part, but you moved to the great state of Ohio. That's a big
I
deal.
did. It feels good. Yeah, I moved. I think I moved right before I think I moved because I was unemployed. Well, unemployed. I was in between jobs for about about a month. So we were filming during that time, but now it feels good. I got my official Ohio gin handicap,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's been good. There's a lot of the golf courses around here are really well priced. I live in Troy, just north of Dayton, Ohio. But it's been great. Honestly, it's been really fun. I'm even thinking about joining the country club next year. I got a tour for that on Monday, so
Nice.
hopefully that goes well. But yeah, it's been good. It feels nice to be in Ohio, and we can tackle some of these Ohio tournaments together. If we do decide that we want to get into some of these maybe Ohio Mid Am, Ohio amateur stuff like that. Be a lot of fun. So it's been good. It's been treating me well. This summer's been good. You know, but yeah, being a little far from home is a little interesting. But now it's been really good being a proud Ohioan. So yeah,
Yeah, I love that. Well, what do you got on the schedule for us tonight? There's so much we could talk about, and it's going to take multiple episodes.
yeah, there is. First off, I want to talk. We should probably talk. It'd be a little remiss if we didn't talk a little bit about PGA Tour. Where do we start talking about the PGA Tour? I have no idea because we have missed probably 20 tournaments, maybe 25. I really don't know. Um, but yeah, so to sum it up, I do have a little bit of a game. I know usually we do our games at the end of the podcast, but today we're going to do it in the middle just to kind of recap a lot that's been going on. So we're going to do another blind ranking, and I have just jotted down some random PGA Tour storylines and big moments that have happened throughout the season. So I just want you to blind rank them. We're going to go down just these storylines. Blind rank these storylines. So
How many are
number one,
there?
there
One
are
through.
five. There's five handicaps or sorry, five storylines. We're just doing one through five. Um, and yeah, so the first one, uh, we're gonna encapsulate them all. This is the four major winners. So obviously we had Rory McIlroy, Aaron Rai won the PGA Championship, Wyndham Clark won the U.S. Open, and Ryan Fox won the Open. How about those storylines? Just as a whole, was how do you feel about this group of major winners, and where would you rank that on the blind ranking scale?
Oh man, I'm going to be honest. Not my favorite group of major winners. Yeah, we boy, we missed a lot, but but it's it's certainly been entertaining. And I still, of course, was tuning into the majors to watch them and follow them. But I'm gonna rank that at number four just because it's not what the major winners have been in the past.
Yeah, yeah. I'm also going to chime in on each of these. I 100% agree. I know we talked about this over the weekend. It was tough. Unfortunately, I actually didn't really get to. I don't know why. Every single weekend, I was like, "Oh, I'm going to watch the entire thing," and then I end up being busy on Sunday at you
Mhm.
know 3 p.m. through 6 p.m. I don't know why every single one, but I did watch every single major, of course. Yeah, it was maybe the most disappointing list of majors, and I'm not saying I didn't want Rory to win the Masters, or I was like because he obviously is great. I really respect how good of a golfer he is. It's like back to back winners, especially being Rory McIlroy, maybe the most polarizing player on tour. You know, maybe a little uneventful. Aaron Rai, love Aaron Rai. I love his story. I think he's a great player. But also, it was just such a random player. Same thing with Ryan Fox. I don't mind Ryan Fox. It's just like
Yeah.
he for those two guys to be major champions in the same season is truly really random. And then Wyndham Clark, you know how I feel about Wyndham Clark. Is he a great player? Yes. Um, would I always struggle with this. If I were on tour, would I have better attitude than he does? Probably not. I'd probably be a hothead, but I don't know. It's kind of annoying to see that, and then whenever he wins, he instantly is super apologetic about his attitude. And then whenever he's doing rough, he goes right back to being the hothead. So that's kind of my take on Wyndham Clark. Also, the most random two-time major champion on the face of the planet. So yeah, just a really weird group of major champions. So
Yeah.
I would agree right there. Very interesting major champions. But number two, we have Sam Burns on back to back major is right there and just can't close it out. Um, that's been a big storyline for the last couple of years. But where would you
Yeah.
rank that?
Yeah. And so it was the Open and it was the U.S. Open, correct?
Yep, the last two, and then last year was also the U.S. Open last year as well.
Right. Yeah. So he's knocking on that door. He's arguably been, we've been out of the game, but if you looked at the from the season long totals, I want to say he's been one of the best on tour.
Yeah,
Obviously, this might be one of your other storylines, but Scotty, with all his T2s, has had a really good year without winning.
yeah,
Same thing with Sam Burns, but even so much more because he hasn't gotten across the hurdle of winning the first
yeah,
major. So it's really interesting. I'll put that at number two. I mean, I don't love it. I want him to win. I wish he won
yeah.
Wyndham and Ryan Fox, to be honest. But it's regardless, it's still interesting, and you can only imagine what's going on with his mental
Yeah,
battle. Still has a good attitude about it.
yeah. I agree. I really don't know. I've said he is the most underrated player on the face of the planet. I believe he's ranked 14th in the world, and he's so much better than that. I mean, it seems like pretty much every tournament he's right there. It's also kind of ironic how he is best friends with Scotty Scheffler, and they're both in the same boat. Scotty's done it before many times, but they just cannot get over the hump that this year. But yeah, I mean, he's in there. I would say he's had the top three or four for best seasons this year. I mean, he's been unbelievable. He just can't get over that hump. So, yeah, very interesting. I hope he gets over the hump soon because I mean, it's like the I forget whose theory it is, but some people believe there's infinite number of universes. So, and there's another universe out there where Sam Burns is a four-time major, so or a champion. So, you never know. But it is one of those guys. Yeah, it's really interesting, and I hope he wins. And I wish it wasn't a storyline. I wish it was Sam Burns wins two majors. I wish that was a storyline, but back to back majors, he just couldn't close, and especially the Open was pretty rough one for him. He had two-stroke lead going into Sunday, so yeah, unfortunately, it's the storyline again. Hopefully, he gets one next year, but still had a phenomenal season. Don't let that take away from the fact that anytime you get a runner up or even a top three in a season at a major, that's a phenomenal finish. So I think some people kind of look at it as like whenever you're losing or whenever you don't win, you lose. That's not necessarily the case. He's still a phenomenal player, having a phenomenal season. So yeah, the next one, this is a great one. This might have happened before our hiatus, but Matt Fitzpatrick and Alex Fitzpatrick winning at the New Orleans Classic to give Alex Fitzpatrick exemption on tour, and he's done really well with it. Alex Fitzpatrick's done really well in a lot of tournaments. So yeah, what do you think of that? Where do you rank that one?
It's very impressive how he's been finishing so well ever since he got that win at the Zurich. I like that a lot. I think I'm going to put that at number one. It's such a feel
Mhm.
free, and truth be told, I'm a pretty big Matt Fitzpatrick fan as well. Um, don't really know much about Alex, but I think it's great. It's a unique opportunity how the PGA Tour offers something like that for someone who might not have tour status. And
Yeah,
he's been playing well at the Open. He was off to a hot start. The weekend I don't think was as good for him, but still made the cut. He's getting his points. I don't think Matt made the cut at the Open, so really a head scratcher there. But
yeah.
I'll put one pretty cool.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I have a brother. I have two brothers. You have a brother, so it's like I mean, I couldn't imagine being being the ironically, I think Alex is the older brother, if I'm not mistaken. But so I think it would be really cool to be in that situation as with your brother and your brother kind of gets you on the tour, and then like I said, he's capitalized on it. You know, he's been a really good player for a while now. He's done really well on DP World Tour. He just hasn't quite gotten on tour, but so yeah, for him to capitalize it on it, and then that's been awesome. I think it's a really cool story, a kind of feel good story. And also, we can kind of go on this Matt Fitzpatrick. With the season pretty much wrapped up, he's my pick to win Player of the Year. So
Mm.
it's really cool to see those two players like Matt Fitzpatrick. It's hard to argue these had the best season just because Scotty has, even though he hasn't won, he's only won the first event he played in. I think Matt Fitzpatrick deserves Player of the Year because he has 3 wins and he's been an unbelievable player. So one of the best players in the world, getting his brother on tour and then his brother kind of capitalizing on it. What a story! Love that one. I would put that at number 1 too personally. But yeah, great story.
Yeah.
So on to number 4. This one's a very recent one. Another really good story. Jackson Koiven wins the 3M Open on his third start as a PGA Tour or as a professional on the PGA Tour. He's played in a bunch of amateur events. He was number 1 amateur in the world for a long time. Finally decided to turn pro. He earned points, I believe, from PGA Tour U, if I'm not mistaken. Got on tour. Then he wins in his third star. So already should be in the playoffs, which is pretty remarkable. Speaking of the only has 3 starts. But yeah, where do you put that one?
Let's see, I've done 1, 2, and 4. I'll put that at number 3. It's
Okay.
very impressive. I think I could be mistaken. I think he also, before turning professional, he won back to back to back, so 3 in a row, NCAA championships. And it might have been just SEC championships. I can't remember, but I think it was the entire college circuit that he won 3 years in a row, which is unbelievable.
Yeah.
I wasn't around, or I didn't watch golf. I'll say for some of the other stars we've had that come up in
Yeah.
the, such as like Jordan Spieth, Tiger Woods. But from what everyone says and what I've seen online, this is the same route that guys like them took. And
Yep.
we've seen the rise of Scotty, but it was gradual when he came out of college. And Koiven could just be the guy out of the gate. So it's
Yep.
crazy that we are seeing this. He got his first win. It's funny, for as good as he's done in PGA Tour tournaments up until this week at the 3M Open, he had only won like $90,000 on the tour because he couldn't collect money as an amateur. So I'm quite enjoying his professional start, and
Yeah.
I can only rank it as number 3, but it's
Yeah.
pretty cool to know that we're going to be following this guy for podcasting.
Yeah. I 100% agree. Like it is cool because, like you said, we obviously were not alive when Tiger won 6 straight USGA amateur champ. Well, 3 were the amateur, 3 were the US or the junior am. But we weren't around then. Everybody knew Tiger was the best amateur, basically to still to this point probably to ever live. I know way back there were a bunch of amateur pros that were really amateurs and whatnot, but in the last you know 50 years, Tiger is the best amateur to ever live, or had the best amateur career. But yeah, like now we get to see it, like this guy who was dominant, was far and away the number 1 amateur in the world, had a phenomenal college collegiate career at Auburn. So now it's cool, yeah, to see him come on tour. Now he's right away he's doing it. I know like Jordan Spieth, he had kind of a similar path where was by far the best amateur. Came in, won a Masters when he was 21. But yeah, now it's cool to see it firsthand. And also, I think it goes a lot to show PGA Tour U just. It continues to show out like it seems like every single year they just get it right. Like you have so many players on tour now, and there's a couple who haven't been as good. Just like you look at any other sport, the first overall picks, some of them haven't been great. But yeah, now you have Oberg, who's a top 20 player in the world. You have and now you have Jackson Koiven, who already won 3 starts. So still just goes to show how phenomenal whoever thought of the idea of Tour U. Um, I hope they got a raise because it's a phenomenal idea, and it's just paid so many dividends, and you have the stars like imagine if Jordan Spieth had an avenue to get on tour right out of college. He didn't have to go to Corn Ferry. He didn't have to go through key school. That'd be really cool. Now we're seeing it. So really awesome there. I agree. I agree. It's pretty cool to see him. Last one. You know me. I said I would have put the Fitzpatrick one as number one, but for your number five spot, this would be my number one, my personal favorite. We got Neil Shipley making the cut at the U.S. Open. Back to back U.S. Opens, three for three on majors, making the cut. So you say when the lights are bright, he pops out. So I guess it's your number five, but let's talk about that one a little bit for me.
Yeah. I don't even know where he ended up finishing the tournament. But shout out to the big ship.
Yep.
When knowing the ship is sailing steady. So I love to see that. I know you're happy. I know Pittsburgh's proud.
Yes, sir.
Good for him. I guess it's got to be my number five ranking.
That's fair. There's probably not a lot of golf podcasts that are talking about Neil Shipley making the cut of the U.S. Open. I think
Where,
he got
yeah,
50th or 52nd. But still, I mean, I think that was his first made cut in like 2 months before that. So he's been doing well since. Obviously, I have him favored in my PGA Tour app. So huge win for Western Pennsylvania. Shout out Western Pennsylvania Golf Association. Shout out Neil Shipley. Shout out the state of Pennsylvania, particularly Western. Shout out, yeah,
yeah.
shout out Hog State. Shout out everybody I can. But yeah, pretty cool. Hopefully, he has a good fall. Has been struggling a little bit on tour, but yeah, hopefully he has a good fall and he keeps it going.
Does he have any
So
chance
yeah,
of playoffs?
what's that?
Does he have any chance of getting in the playoffs?
No, I think you'd have to win the what this week is the Rocket Mortgage. You have to win the Rocket Mortgage or the Wyndham. So no, which he could. Maybe he wins both. Maybe he pops out. He wins both. You never know. You never know. Golf really is all about who has the hot hand. Um, so I revised my answer. Yes, he has a good chance to win to get in the playoffs. So
Yeah, good.
I think I want to say he's like 150th on the FedEx Cup list. So it's an uphill battle, but it's possible. But Neil, if you're seeing this, we're rooting for you. Good luck at the Rocket Mortgage Classic. Good luck at the Wyndham Championship, and good luck at PGA Tour Fall. Good luck for the big ship. But yeah, those were the five that I had. Did you have any other storylines or any events, big things that happened on the PGA Tour that you want to talk about?
Um, yeah, you kind of reminded me of it when we talked about the Fitzpatrick's. A big storyline, maybe the first time ever that the fans have been stuck with storyline. But how about the fans, especially at major championships and other big tournaments, playing such a role more than they ever have before? Whether it's the cheering, whether it's the booing, whether it's the comments. I mean, the Ryder Cup has just
Yeah,
carried its way into the PGA regular season, and
yeah,
what an interesting story. I've never heard anything like it in golf. Now, I'll be
mhm.
the say I'm not totally opposed to it. Um, but for example, like when Matt Fitzpatrick was getting booed at the Players Championship, I know we discussed that at the time. And then fast forward to Wyndham when he didn't have any support whatsoever at the U.S. I'm not saying I disagree with it, but also it made me want Wyndham to win because this guy is
yeah,
uh, such a villain, and for as disliked as he is just so wild to see a golf scene you've never really seen before, where he made a birdie on the back nine of a major that he's winning, and it was dead silent. So yeah, the fans have been, I've been watching golf for give or take 5 years loosely, but this just seems so different. Not anything
yeah.
expected.
Yeah, I agree. As someone said, I forget who exactly said it, but Long Island fans are, I don't know. I think they kind of need to. I don't know. I really don't really have the words for it. They just kind of need to be a little more respectful. This wasn't nearly as bad as the players, I didn't think. But as someone who's going to golf on Long Island next week, I'm scared. I'm scared I might get booed out of the place. So we don't know. I mean, luckily, there's a lot of chances to boo for me.
Yeah.
But a little foreshadowing for a conversation later in the podcast. But yeah, I agree. I didn't. I understand. Like I said, you guys know how I feel. I'm not a big Wyndham Clark fan. I think he's a little bit of a whiner. I mean, I know he's a little bit of a whiner. But I didn't mind whenever he'd make a birdie and you just hear silence. I didn't mind that. Like what do you can't make people. It's not disrespectful to not cheer for people. But I think like when he sails the green, he puts one in a bunker that's a really tough up and down, and you hear the crowd cheering. I think that's a little disrespectful. Some people say, well, that's soft. That's it is what it is. It's a game built on respect. It's kind of like a couple weeks back at the U.S. Junior Am, and there's a video of Charlie Woods, and he's in a
Yeah.
playoff to make the round of 16, and there's a camera that goes off, and he says really, dude, and he got a bunch of hate for that because um, people were like, oh, if that's going to distract you, maybe you shouldn't be there. It's like it's just it's hard to explain because it's just a game built on respect, and like I know it doesn't sound like much, but it can affect you. So yeah, I mean, I guess shout out to Wyndham Clark for winning. Just despise people booing when he makes bogey, cheering, not cheering when he makes birdie, just silence. People leaving before they leave it whenever he gets to a hole leaving. But yeah, I agree. I think Long Island fans they need to kind of get a grasp. Like it's not the Ryder Cup anymore. You got to be even if you don't want to, you gotta respect people. I don't know. Um, but that being said, I didn't really mind the. I still didn't want him to win after that. That didn't make me want to win. But again, shout out him. I guess overcoming all the haters. So, um, but yeah. But if you don't have anything else regarding PGA Tour, again, as we kind of alluded to earlier, we missed so many tournaments that it's going to be a lot. We're probably going to be mentioning things that happen throughout the season all for the next a while, probably well into football season, well into the President's Cup. So we're not gonna get it all back. It's like when you shoot a 50 on the front, you're not gonna get it all back on the first hole. Um, so we'll talk about it more as we go. But there's some things. It's a fun game to kind of discuss some of the things that have happened lately. But one other thing before we have some more lighthearted discussions at towards the end. What about live golf? Again, a lot's happened. They've flown a little under the radar. I feel like we talked about a lot of it before this hiatus. But tell us what's going on a little bit with live golf. Like what's happening there? Like
Yeah.
what is going on?
Yeah. So please jump in if you have anything to add because I'm pretty uneducated.
As
My,
well.
my Instagram news stories have been keeping me up to date with Live, but man, and when I don't even know where they were at in March when we last talked on the podcast, but the latest is that as they are heading towards the end of their season, things have really fallen apart. Uh, there's been a handful of guys that have made their way back to the PGA Tour. There's been rumors, there's been facts, there's been uh, missing funds, or rather, cutting of funds. There's been just speculation everywhere. And so the biggest news as we're recording today is July 29th. The biggest news is that they are rumored to be canceling their season-ending tournament, which is a big deal. A big deal because being a team competition, everything moves towards the season-ending championship more so than the PGA Tour does. So that's a big deal, and it was slated to be in Michigan, I believe, Michigan or Illinois. I couldn't tell you because I looked up the course, and it's also a course I've never heard of. That is their season championship. This place looked like it could be a public course. It probably was a club, but never heard of it. So just kind of speaks to, I guess, where they're still at as a tour, a reality check, and now that they're going to have to cancel it. I think the rumor is that they are going to cancel it. They haven't officially announced that yet. But another thing I heard is that everything is also pointing towards the deadline of September 1st, which I believe is have to it's either make official announcements or make official pay cuts or make official so everything is moving towards um and so it's kind of just been like a slow burn, more and more announcements come in that this and this happened, and they're just we'll see what happens September 1st, but if they don't have a season ending championship, then there's not for
Yeah, it sounds like you're a lot more educated than I am in a lot of areas, but specifically this. Um, yeah, I've heard kind of the same thing. Like they've canceled multiple events throughout the season. There's been rumors that some players haven't gotten paid. They signed this contract early on and they haven't been paid to the fullest. And then yeah, this championship being canceled is the latest rumor. There's also rumors that I heard that I didn't even know they had a feeder tour set up. But allegedly the Asian tour was supposed to be their feeder tour, and basically they dropped out. And yeah, it's been a wild ride. I personally I have a hard time believing that they're this much drama. They're going to be able to keep people like Bryson, like Cam Smith, um, like John Rahm. No, John Rahm's on DP World. See, this is what I mean. So much has happened. John Rahm's planning on leaving Live Tour anyways. Correct? Going to DP World Tour if I'm not mistaken.
as far as I know,
I
but
would say that's. Yeah, I have a hard time believing they're even the guys that are kind of up in the air, like that they're going to keep them with this much drama. Like they don't have to stay. They don't have to be there. Like they're big names. They're both those, all three of those guys that I just mentioned. Those are major champions right there. Like they don't have to stay. So I just have a hard time believing they're going to keep guys like that. So, um, and the rumor is, another rumor that I see is like this has been going on for a while. They have investors lined up. I know I said this earlier, like in an earlier episode, but I said who would want to invest in that? Like I don't know. It's kind of, to me, it's like kind of like investing in I don't know, in a company that's had all these scandals and has been failing, and you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna pour a couple $1 billion into it. I just have a hard time believing that. Like it seems like they have a lot of momentum going the wrong way, so it's kind of hard to stop that, even with if do have a couple $1 billion. But who knows? Only time will tell. Like you said, that September 1st deadline. Who knows? You never know. It just seems like it's been trending in the wrong direction for a couple years. However, I do know this for a fact. The biggest issue with Liv that I've seen, and the biggest kind of, I guess, crime or wrongdoing they've committed, have been Ian Poulter's pants. Holy smokes! I was at dinner with at the lunch with my friends on my way back from Tim's wedding last weekend, and the restaurant we were in, they showed live golf on the TV, and I glanced to my left, and I see Ian Poulter on the TV, and he had the most obnoxious pants I've ever seen in my. They were these blue pants with like the Great Britain, or the Great Britain flag on it. And the red was so bright. I can't even. I'll try to find a picture of them. They were the most hideous pants I've ever seen in my life, which is nothing new for Ian Poulter. But wow, that was the biggest thing. The Liv should have stopped them in the tunnel and said, "Hey, you are not going out in this."
yeah.
That's what they should have done. For that alone, they deserve to go on there. So, oh man, they were obnoxious, and
Wow.
yeah, to say the
Wow.
least. But sorry, was that?
Was that?
Yeah, to say the least. There's a lot been going on in Live. The same thing. We're probably going to be reminded of things as we go on, but a lot going on there.
Yeah.
But with all the serious business kind of wrapped up, I want to get into some more lighthearted conversation, more about our personal golf games.
Yeah.
So we both have some big rounds coming up. Some big time rounds. Educate the folks about your maybe some tee times at some historic clubs that you have coming up, if you want to. Maybe talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, well, I've got my most ever anticipated tea time coming up this Friday. It's Wednesday night that we're filming. I've got a tea time Friday afternoon. It's been a year coming, been waiting for a year. That is at Mont Country Club, and I'm so pumped, so pumped. Let me say this first. Most people's uh, most people's dream course is Augusta National or Pebble Beach. Mine has always been Oakmont, which is crazy. I think part of it is going to college in the Pittsburgh area. Part of it's always been playing Midwest golf in general, growing up in Ohio. But it's like you're not supposed to play your dream course. You're just not supposed to play it. Hey, I I've been having the longest week at work, waiting for Friday to come, and it just feel really it. So I'll of course be ready to talk about it afterwards, but it's just unreal. And I say it's been a year coming because the connection, the invite comes through a member I met last year at the U.S. Open at Oakmont when I was a volunteer. I was sent out to do my volunteer job, and I just so happened to be working very closely with a guy who was a member at Oakmont. Um, so we got to know each other. I think he's a little bit older than I am, but I think he was impressed that I was working hard rather than just being a bum and doing it for the free tickets. So he said, "Yeah, let's get you out here sometime." And we were gonna play last summer, but things happened. Life's busy. He's got kids, and so this summer we started texting again and say, "Hey, let's find a time to get out," and it's finally here. So I'm just ecstatic about it. I maybe you could weigh in, maybe followers could weigh in. What you think I might shoot, considering it's one of the hardest courses. Not to look ahead to the course that you're gonna play, but one of the hardest courses.
I would say the course that you're playing is definitely harder than, especially because I assume that you're playing the championship tees there. Um,
I doubt that, but you never know.
never know. Um, but I believe, according to the USGA, if I'm not mistaken, as a former USGA intern, I should know that. No, but I believe it is ranked in the top three, at least in the country. I know Kiwa, I believe, is considered the hardest, which as a guy that we met at Bethpage last year, I know he said that he played it and it was the hardest course he's ever stepped foot on. But yeah, I believe Kiwa is considered the hardest in the country. Um, but yeah, Oakmont's definitely from stories of people who have played it. Yeah, I've heard a lot of stories, but yeah, that's it's very exciting. I'm very excited for you. So for the next probably 30 episodes of the podcast, you're probably going to see Hido in all Oakmont gear.
Oh, yeah.
So
Maybe rather than guessing what my score is gonna be, what's the price tag in the pro shop gonna be?
yeah, I don't. Oh, I'm trying to. I know we've had this discussion before. I don't know what. There's certain courses. I mean, Oakmont it's a phenomenal logo. Like, don't get me wrong. It might be it's very kind of plain and very simple, but it's just such a good logo. It's like it looks good on polos, looks good on hats. It's just a good, clean logo. So I would, if it were me, especially if the member is gracious enough, obviously, to pay for your guest fees, which and whatnot. Obviously you gotta buy them some drinks or but if it was me, I'm probably walking out of there with $400 or $500 worth of merchandise personally. Um, but yeah, I'm very excited for you, and it's just kind of goes to show you, anybody like. Same thing. Oakmont's probably my dream course, and I am confident that someday I'll be able to play it. Hopefully, um, it's good to show you, you never know who you meet, and golf it's a great game that brings people together. And yeah, I'm really excited for you. I'm ecstatic. I can't wait to hear the round, hear about the round. Personally, I don't mean to give anything away. I said you put the little thing on the Northeast Ohio golfer page saying what was your score. I said I believe in you, and you're shooting 71. So you never know.
For listeners out there, I think the target score is 89. It's
Okay.
got to be break 90.
Yeah.
And for those who don't know much about Oakmont, with it being one of the hardest courses in the world, they say that it actually plays tougher in July and in August than it does for the US Open because it gets so warm and the
Yeah.
ground, throughout the summer it gets quicker and quicker, and they keep it in tournament conditions year round. And so of course the thing goes like, what would an 18 handicap shoot at Oakmont or something? And the reason I think I do have a chance to break 9 is because my short game is my strength, as you know.
Yep.
I For as quick as the greens are going to be, I think I can, after the first couple holes, I'll be able to work
Yeah.
it. Um, Now, don't let me talk good about myself because my drive abysmal, always has been. But if
Meanwhile,
get I don't have to hit any greens in regulation, but if I can get two greens in regulation, give myself a chance of getting up and down, I think bogeys are fine. Mix in a par. So I think I have a shot. The chances are slim, but I'm looking to break 90.
I believe in you. Personally, I'll always believe in you. I if you came on here, if you said that you broke, you shot like an 81, or I'd be ecstatic for you. But yeah, it's I've heard stories. Former teammate of the Evening Nine Golf Podcast, Jake Delacio. He played it last October, and so hearing some of the stories of him, he actually played a really good round. Just had three really bad holes. Or no, sorry, I think he had three really bad holes. Dropped a couple bogeys, whatnot. He shot 96, but he had like three eights, something like that. So, um, the Liz, I don't really think you tune in, which is kind of a snake move. But if you are listening, you can correct me, and you can correct me. But it was something like that. I shot like a 96 with three eights or something like that. But yeah, I believe in you. But from what I hear, it's just like you gotta they're so firm. Like on the first hole, it also if you've never been on obviously I've never played it, but been on property for the U.S. Open. Like whenever you're looking at it on TV, I bet there's so many people that look at it and be like and say this course is a joke. There's no water. There's no trees. It
Yeah.
can't be that hard. But when you look at the greens, you look at the bunkering is just so deep and they're so meticulously placed. The greens are as fast as they can be. There's a chance. It's been a little wet this season, but there's a chance. They're rolling at a 15. So it's firm. It's as close to a true link style course as we can get in the U.S. too. So um, yeah, if you're on property, you kind of realize why it's so hard. So I was, it's not a play it to your spot. Or you play it to your spot. It's not a play it to the hole or pass the hole kind of course. You have to play it. Sometimes you have to play it in front of the green.
Yeah.
I know on hole one, I've heard a bunch of people say that on hole one, you hit a good drive into the fairway, you're gonna have a pitching wedge in, maybe even less than a pitching wedge. But you got to land it front edge of the green, if not in front of the green, or else it'll go off the back of the green with a pitching wedge. So, um, yeah, I'm really excited. I'm really excited to hear your breakdown. And yeah, how early do you think you're going to get to the course before the round?
Um, yeah, the member that I'm playing with, he said so the tee time's at 3. He said he won't be able to get there till 2:30, but I'm welcome to show up
Okay.
earlier. But there's kind of a socially acceptable time, 8 a.m. if it means I can walk around the clubhouse all day. I think maybe roll in around 1:45, get the spikes, walk around the club, hit some putts for an hour.
That's a good plan. Like, and then, yeah, that's a great plan. Kind of a bummer they can't get there till 2:30. That's kind of brutal. Well, obviously you need more than 30 minutes there before the round. Just yeah, definitely go. Maybe explore that locker that Wyndham broke.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, I mean, I know that's yeah, it's exciting. Definitely got to roll some putts. Definitely uh, take a lot of pictures. I'm excited for you. I really am. Yeah, it's amazing. When you told me that on Friday, or sorry, on Thursday, on Saturday, I couldn't believe you. I was like, wow, that was the last place I was going to guess. I said Firestone because obviously you're in the Akron area. I would have guessed. I would have guessed like Muirfield. I probably would have guessed, you know,
Yeah.
Fisher's Island Club before that. No, I'm just kidding. But no, but that's awesome. I'm really excited for you. Um, but yeah, so we got a lot of guesses. First off, what the bill in the pro shop is going to be, what the score is going to be, and yeah, there's the two. But really excited. Can't wait to hear it. We're probably going to have a 30-minute block on our episode next week, just about Oakmont,
Yeah.
but also not to shift the spotlight onto me. But I also have a pretty big round coming up.
Yes.
One that we've been to, a little less exciting. I'm very excited for it, but I'm not nearly as excited as I was last time. But going back to Bethpage with friend of the program and former teammate Jake Delicio and my brother Dan. So this time a little different. We were playing the red course this time. Playing me and Deliz. I believe the plan is to play the red course on Friday, and then play the black course on Saturday, and then we'll have all day Saturday and Sunday to kind of explore. We'll probably go to New York. I'm flying in this time. But yeah, I mean we've been there. It's a phenomenal experience. I'm really excited again. But yeah,
Yeah.
but
I'm
one,
so excited for you, and maybe we can talk about it more next week as the time gets closer. But
yeah,
I'd love
definitely,
to hear about what your plan is. You know, camping. You're gonna be in a car. You're gonna be in
yeah,
a tent. The what's the meal situation gonna be? I remember
yeah,
there it was a lot of fun. So
yeah,
there's so much to plan. It's quite
uh-huh.
a, it's not just golf. So I'm
Yeah.
so excited for you too and to hear
Yep.
about.
That's one. I mean, there's a lot of clubs. There's a lot of courses that are like this that you can go and you can shoot 130. I mean, Oakmont. I'm sure if you were to shoot 115, you're not going to say that place is terrible. Bethpage is kind of the same thing. Like it's a beautiful course. Don't get me wrong. It's one of the most magnificent courses in the country. Um, but also it's like just the experience in general. Like honestly, like we could have not played last year. You know, we could have settled for the red course, or we could have settled for the yellow and green course. And it still would have been an awesome experience just because of the camping and whatnot. But yeah, we'll dive more into that next week when the time gets closer. We're leaving here. We're leaving here. We're flying to Indianapolis. We're leaving here on Thursday night, getting a hotel, flying in JFK, getting a rental car, driving up to Long Island, and yeah. But it'll be really exciting. But I do have a couple games. I feel like we can't really participate in this one. This one's more for our viewers. But we have I guess money line money line spread. Um, whose score is going to be lower? Hido's at Oakmont or Diesel's at Bethpage? Um, Personally, I will weigh in on it. I'm not going to take an official guess. I feel like it's pretty even match because like we've both been there before, so we
Yeah.
know Bethpage. And Oakmont is a harder course, but also I think you're the better player out of the two of us, so it can go either way. I will say this just for the rules: if it is a tie, let's say we both shoot, let's be optimists here. Let's say we both shoot 84s. Um, I'm gonna give it to you since again Oakmont's a harder course and you've never been there. Um, but yeah,
Remind me, was Bethpage a par 70
that's a good question. I have the scorecard right here. Let me
at
the
the
scorecard and the yards book.
front? I
Beth
want
Page is a par 71.
to. Okay, and so is Oakmont. So
Okay. Yeah, it is. Just for the US Open, it's a par 70. The course rating for the middle tees at Bethpage is 74.6, slope rating of 149. And
wow.
let's see, it is 66,757 yards. Yep. So
And
very, very interesting.
we played right.
What's that?
Those are the tees we played.
Yep, yeah, we play, and I'm playing them again. I'm not going to be. There's no way I'm playing the front tees. I am playing the back, or I'm playing the middle tees. Um, but yeah, last time was a very interesting time when we were there.
Oh,
Uh, but yeah, very, very exciting. But yeah, I think it's gonna. I think it's a very even match, just because. like I said, you're the better player, but you're also playing the harder course and course you've never been to. So that's my personal opinion, but we'll see. So yeah, definitely, I want to hear all your guys' feedback. Um, you know, who's going to have the lower score, and what's the score going to be? Add that in. I'll add a I'll add, maybe I'll make a graphic tonight and add it on our story so we can get some questionnaires going. But yeah, really exciting. Do you have anything else regarding regarding that, regarding our I guess our duel or anything else from the podcast?
Yeah, I'm glad that we can kind of do some recapping, do some. I think, truthfully, knowing our viewers, I think that they would enjoy hearing about our own golf experiences.
Hundred percent.
Until we start getting viewers that we don't know, I
Yeah,
think I think our consistent viewers appreciate hearing about our golf. So I love
yeah,
that. And let's just say we've got some fun plans for 2026.
yes, yes.
More to come, but uh, so excited for you. So excited that we're so back. We are so
Yeah,
back.
we are so bad. Yeah, yeah. We're gonna keep them. We're gonna keep them on the edge of our seat, of their seats. But let me just say, we have some really exciting news coming later in the season. Maybe even in the football season, we have some very exciting news. I guess it's really not official right now. It could fall out. We could just sign that we don't want it anymore. But very exciting news. I'm very excited for that. But yeah, definitely, I'm excited to talk about. As much as the pros are fun to talk about, I'm excited to talk about us a little bit. But yeah, very exciting. Can't wait to hear back about our rounds. Then kind of last thing before we close out, I want to give an update going forward, kind of what we plan on for the future. So first off, I just want to same thing. I want to do a deeply apologize to our viewers, particularly a handful. I know we have probably our biggest fan, Isaac Massey out there has been he's been excited for this moment. So again, I want to apologize about that, but also it's probably going to look a little different. Are these episodes going forward? Probably, I think what we discussed, minimum of once a week. We're going to try to do once a week. So there's probably going to be weeks where an episode might come out on a Tuesday, a Wednesday, a Thursday. We really don't know. Just kind of whenever we can, since we are working people, and one of us is a married man as well. So just kind of whenever we can. Going forward, we're obviously we're going to talk about the PGA Tour. We're going to talk about these next couple of tournaments. Stuff that's happened in the past, playoffs, the Presidents Cup, also some of our own rounds, and hopefully we can the golf season's still very young for us, so we can talk about different courses and maybe even as the season slows, we can talk about maybe even like getting some courses that we haven't played and played stuff like that. So yeah, do you have any thoughts to add to that?
No, I think you said it perfectly. We're so excited for what's to come.
Yeah, it's an exciting time. It's an exciting time to be alive. It's an exciting time to be back. We are so happy that we're back. It really has been, like I said, it's something that I know for me, I very much enjoy this. It's just so many people, at both your and Tim's wedding. Not they're separate weddings for the record, um, but at both those weddings, people were they asked about it. They did. And I especially yours. I did not think people were gonna ask about it, but people I didn't know they recognized me and asked about it. So something that I really enjoy. It's so much fun to do. So I'm glad we can bring it back.
I think a lot of those views are truthfully coming through the reels and the YouTube shorts as well.
100%. Yeah, yeah, and obviously, yeah. But hey, we appreciate every eye that we have. So
If anyone's still at this point, God bless you.
yeah. Um, but yeah, if we don't have anything else, we're gonna close out. It's
Yep.
really good to be back. Hopefully we can keep this rolling and so much fun. I had a lot of fun tonight, Hido. So yeah, good luck at Oakmont.
Yeah,
Talk to you
dude.
next week, and as always, thanks for tuning in to the Evening Nine Golf Podcast. We'll see you next time.
Sure. See ya.